The two best mates taking each other on. And, I mean, it may have been a friendly
25.
game, but Ted Everts has absolutely brutalised Dawson Mershall. He's averaged 107 and beaten him 6-4. Cracking game of darts. Once again, though, for the second day running, we have seen Peter Wright and Mensur Suljovic go out in round one. Horrendous
25.
weekend for the world number 5 and the world number 8. James Wade, yesterday's champion,
25.
is also out, beaten 6-2 by Jose Justicia of Spain, who's averaged almost 100 there. We've just seen 101 average from Benito van der Pas.
25.
It means that Michael Smith, I think, is the only player in the top 10 who is still in, having beaten Jamie Bain.
25.
Corey Cadby has gone, beaten 6-2 by the Womble, Jonathan Worsley. It has been a very odd start to the day, and could it be a day where somebody takes advantage? And could it be Raymond van Barneveld? Because yesterday...
Outside.
He was pretty... Well, it was disappointing from Barney. In fact, you know, he was on the streaming board. He was playing in the first round game, and he was beaten by Gary Eastwood, a man who is averaging, you know, as low as anybody on the tour this year.
25, so Raymond's won the ball.
It was over on the other streaming board, so I didn't have the pleasure of seeing it, but Chris Murphy, my co-commentator, did watch Raymond van Barneveld. I asked him just to summarise the game for us.
60.
Well, it wasn't great, Dan. I mean, well, it was worse than that. It was awful.
So there you go. That's what Murphy said about it. And if you just wanted a
60.
summary of that,
It was awful.
there you go. Now, if he's awful again today, then it is a big, big missed opportunity for Barney.
92.
He has already made a Pro Tour final this year. $6,000 he got for that. And that opens up all kinds of opportunities for him. It could see him qualify
81.
for Minehead, for example, players championship finals, help him qualify for that. It could get him back up the rankings. He's only clinging on to his spot in the top 32.
100.
He announced his retirement after getting hammered in Rotterdam in the Premier League by Michael van Gerwen, and then reversed it 2 hours later because he thinks there is
40.
a better exit from darts in his final year before retiring. I think he's right, but he's going to have to work hard.
21.
Not ideal. Stephen Bunting is a man who has had his own troubles, but there were signs in the most recent European
100.
Tour event that Bunting might be finding a way to play himself back into form, because he was really good for large parts of last year.
94.
The start of this year has not been great from Bunting, but as Raymond van Barneveld said himself when they met at the end of one of their World Championship clashes, both of which have been absolute classics, by the way, went to deciding sets in both the times they met at
100.
Ali Pali, said this guy is the best of the best. Give him a Premier League card.
58.
For a breaker throw in the opening leg.
$60.
Just the 60 scored. Barney, it has not been a good leg. It has not been a pretty leg.
40.
And it is not his leg either. Not yet, anyway. Tops now.
40.
Okay, double 14 will do. Double 7 will have to do.
Game shot.
Wow. Well, it wasn't pretty, was it? But it was a leg on the board, and maybe that's what Barney needs. That day that he made the Pro Tour final, he survived multiple, and we're talking closer to
78.
a dozen match darts than half a dozen match darts from Zoran Lurchbacher early on in the day, the Austrian.
127.
Now, without that bit of luck, or multiple bits of luck, Raymond van Barneveld might have gone out in round 2.
58.
And that day may not have happened, and he might not have any belief. The retirement announcement might not have been reversed.
57.
Rod Harrington, the great former world number 1 and 2-time world match play champion, was scathing. He was asked on Thursday night, ahead of the Premier League,
57.
should Barney have stuck with his retirement? And Rod said, yeah, I don't think he's got anything more to give, which was absolutely savage.
42.
I'm not so sure I agree with Rod, and normally I do. Certainly on many things, including the importance of hitting big numbers.
$60.
He's struggling to find the 60 there, Stephen Bunting, but he is 99 points clear in this leg.
45.
Barney does the minimum required to leave a finish. Good dart.
98.
Cannot find the double.
$60.
Splits it.
2.
2 right on the wire for the bullet. There you see. Barney does not get a dart, and
78.
everything's just a bit scattergun, isn't it? It's 2 real poor legs from these 2 former world champions here, and it's a struggle. Such
12.
a struggle.
Game shot.
And Barney, well, there is some sort of Raymond van Barneveld Dutch voodoo going on here, because there is probably a doll with Stephen Bunting's face with a load of pins in it. Because
33.
they are 2 of the worst legs he'll have had on the tour this year. Barney won't have had much worse than those 2, but at least he's won them.
60. $140.
Well, 33 followed by a 140 for Barney. It's kind of been a bit like that
96.
this year. But as long as there are a few more moments of 140, then he might be able to do something.
100.
And we saw earlier on Simon Whitlock, who should have been annihilated 6-0 potentially by Jordi Maywis, suddenly in the later stages of the game clicked into gear
59.
and started playing really, really good stuff. These 2 cannot keep playing at this level all game. That just can't happen. They're too
94.
good. $
100. $80 scored, yeah.
He's going to leave himself tops.
94.
And does do. This is a much more neat and tidy leg from Barney. In comeback, pin tops first start, 16 darter. All right. It's not magnificent.
100.
But hey, it's a heck of a lot better than what's gone before.
Game
17 darts will do, and Raymond van Barneveld may be feeling a little bit better about things. He's 3-0 up. There's a lot to be happy about.
59.
Nothing to be happy about for Stephen Bunting at the minute. He really is struggling. He made the quarter-finals at the weekend in the German Darts Championship.
81.
And played some decent stuff along the way. He actually went there as one of the seeded players. And he beat Dimitri Vandenberg 6-5. He beat Ian White 6-4. And he was only beaten in a last leg decider by Darryl Gurney, who went 59. On to win the title. Now, he was not throwing any of this filth over the course of the weekend. But this is
100.
This is as poorly as I've ever seen Bunting play, to be honest. It is only 3.5 legs in, though. There is time to turn this around. And he's shaking his head,
81.
and you can see the frustration. He is one of the most happy-go-lucky characters about, Stephen Bunting. But
44.
as a former world champ and world master, a man who's won PDC titles, must be enormously frustrating.
117.
There we go. He's finding the trebles now.
$140. $60.
Leaves him 125. Barney is not going to take the 136.
100.
But he does work his way up into the treble 20 to give him 3 darts at double 18 for a 4-0 lead potentially, unless it's just
50.
too much to ask.
Game shot.
Raymond van Barneveld, double 18 is pinned. The standard is improving. I mean, it had to, but I mean, it's not improving drastically. Raymond van Barneveld, when he made the final
140.
a few weeks back of one of these events, he wasn't playing brilliantly in the early stages. As I say, Zoran Lerchbacher should have beaten him, but just when it was getting towards the end of the day, in the last 16 and the quarterfinals, he started to play really well. It was almost as if Barney sort of smelt the title. The glory just, or
35.
potential glory, ignited him. Again, we've seen Barney go 140, followed by a visit in the 30s. It's just... You think they've settled
60.
down, and then it just goes again. And he's getting so many drift off to the left. That one goes to the right. That one's
29.
back on the left. Genuinely baffling game of darts, this.
95. $100.
That is by far the best visit we have seen in this game. Stephen Bunting leaves himself double 16 after 12 darts.
44.
For a break of throw, for a first leg on the board. If this goes cleanly, the fight back might be on.
Game shot.
And it does go cleanly. That is a 13 darter. Now, Bunting, has, by his own standards, has been horrendous for the first 4 legs of this. But he also knows that Raymond van Barneveld, despite having been 4-0 up, is there for the taking. This could be won by Bunting from this position.
140.
Because if Barney carries on playing at this level and Bunting has woken up, game on. And I think
60.
Bunting knows it. Barney may know it as well.
$60.
Oh, ropey looking 60, that one.
$60. $100. $100.
I've seen another big average today, and Kyle Anderson, the Australian, a 6-1 winner against Willie O'Connor. Willie O'Connor averaged 101.6. Kyle Anderson,
85.
more than 108. John Henderson's averaged more than 106. He smashed up Harry Ward by 6 legs to 1. Some big names have fallen. Some big names aren't here. But some of the other guys are putting in big performances. It's going to have to be an enormous comeback for the Bullet, who looks at double 18
Go
and
shot.
gets it. 116 checkout for Bunting. He's won 2 legs in 28 darts. That's pretty much what they were taking to win 1 leg at the start of this game.
81.
Danny Noppert's averaged 100. He beat Kevin Burness 6-1. Wins for the Badger, Dave Prince. Adrian
140.
Lewis has won. Steve Beaton with 102 average. Gabriel Clemens has averaged 101 almost.
60.
Gabriel Clemens seeing off James Richardson. Clemens a finalist already this year on the Pro Tour. Do not rule out the German.
140.
Well, Bunting looks like he's settled now. It has taken far too long for him to do so. But he just looks a different player.
100.
Whereas Barney continues to sort of pootle along.
$140.
Yeah. 13 data, 15 data, potential 11 data coming in. Bunting is chasing Barney down.
100.
He has only beaten him twice in his entire career, Stephen Bunting.
Yeah,
Although one of those was last year. Double 13.
68.
Okay. Well, not ideal. But he is coming back.
60.
5 for double 4, I assume. It is the Roots.
Game shot.
And it is pinned. And Stephen Bunting, even at 4-1 down, even just before he got that first leg on the board, you felt that Bunting could turn this around. Right now, he has to be favourite to win this game, despite the fact he's behind.
180.
Because there is only one player right now who looks likely to do enough to win it.
60.
Now, I may be wrong. Barney has proven me wrong hundreds of times before, because as soon as you write him off, he finds a way to just do
60.
something you don't expect. But can he do it here? Can he find enough to win 2 legs? I genuinely do not know.
100. $100.
Again, Bunting down to a finish after 9 darts. This is just, the firepower is just too much for Barney to handle today. This weekend has not
60.
gone to plan for Barney. He came here, he was posting on social media, "It's over when I say it's over." It was fighting talk.
65.
But it has not been backed up with fighting action. He was gifted a 4-0 head start in this one, and he still has not been able to find anything.
59. Game shot.
Again, Bunting pins double 18. It's a 14 dart leg. It is 4-all. Barney has to win this leg, surely.
119.
If he does not win this leg, surely the towel is thrown in.
180.
And there's that first little Stephen Bunting squawk, the celebration that he does. It's not even a word, it's just a noise. It's like a big angry scouse
140.
bird. Just sort of a meh. That's all it is. Might see it again here. Oh, not quite.
135.
But that'll do. Oh, Barney is, look at him. He's digging in somehow. Is he finding something?
100.
He's down to a finish. It's a better scoring leg that we've seen from Barney pretty much in the whole game. Oh, that's unfortunate for the Bullet.
80.
Only 80. Looks like 60 on the floor. Could have been coming back looking at 46 after 9 darts. There is a lifeline for Barney. Can he seize it?
102.
Oh, Barney nearly produces a moment of magic. Could stay there. No, double 16.
74.
Wow. We've suddenly got a real game of darts that's broken out.
Game shot.
And Barney does win the leg. How is he doing this? He was dead. He was gone. He was buried. Raymond van Barneveld may as well not have been here for the last 4 legs. And then all of a sudden, he's fired in a 13 darter. He nearly
100.
hit a 12 darter with a 142 checkout. You thought the resurrection of Simon Whitlock in game 1 here was odd. This is just as odd.
140. $85.
Barney is averaging 80. Bunting is averaging closer to 90.
78.
But unless Bunting can hold and then break throw in the final leg, then the bullet will be beaten by
140.
Barney. And he'll be condemned to an 8th defeat at the hands of the great man. He lost to him every single time he played between 2014 and 2015. He lost 6 in a row, including 2 in the Premier League, 1 at the Worlds.
168.
Well, he's hit the treble there. He didn't need to. But that double 4 is one that he's pinned already in this game.
92. Game shot.
13 darter. Very good response from Stephen Bunting. He has been good in the last 5 legs. But he was so poor in the first 4 that he may have given himself too much to do.
100.
1 leg to decide it. Can Barney haul himself over the line for one of the ugliest wins
100.
you will ever see on the Pro Tour?
$100.
Ooh,
40.
cartwheels out off the flight.
$60.
Just the 60. Barney can't punish him. Not as much as he would have liked. Bunting, as he just had to change his flight there, he might well have done. Can he find his way over the top? He can.
99.
This is too close to call.
$41.
Great dart. He's done
92.
enough to leave himself a finish, Stephen Bunting. It's the biggest checkout in the game. Barney could force him to take it out. What a visit this is.
140.
What a visit. He leaves himself 60 for the match. Stephen Bunting. He's dug so deep to give himself an opportunity to win this. And bullseye. It's in there. It's in there. Don't let it fall out, Stephen. Where are you going? It's a bit... Really? That's what you're doing, Stephen?
$145.
My word. He's missed the ball for a 170 after waiting an age for it. Barney wants tops. It
Game shot
started
and the match.
so horrifically. It ended so incredibly. And Raymond van Barneveld somehow scrapes through to round 2, despite averaging 9 points less than the bullet Stephen Bunting. An absolutely spectacular comeback that faltered with the very last dart.